Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of what is it? This is anyway. Oh, just wanted to, you know, I like Cop Block, and I like some of the people involved that are involved with Cop Block. On a personal level, I like some of these guys, but sometimes you take how do you say, causes, situations, issues that you really should not be taking up, like the situation in Ferguson, Missouri, excuse me. Um, that was a situation where one person attacked another person, and the person that was attacked defended himself. My wife, as a matter of fact, is from right across the river, and she and I have talked about what that area is like, and Ferguson is not a good area. That from what I could gather, that kid was very possibly trying to do suicide by cop. That's the kid's fault, not the cop for defending himself. It's frustrating because not every single freaking thing that a cop does is wrong. Look, I'm not the I'm not a fan of the police. Let's put it that way. But then again, you have people like Ian Bernard, and Garrett Ian, who
Two-faced.
yeah, who are two-faced. They claim they dislike the cops, they won't go to the cops, etc., etc. But then they do call the cops on people.
And they hand evidence over to
Yep, and they hand evidence over to the police. This is contradictory. I mean, some of you guys are saying one thing and doing something else. And I don't remember what your stance was with the situation in Florida, but that was another situation where an individual was attacked and he defended himself, and sadly, somebody died. But he was a gang banging street punk who attacked somebody.
Yeah.
And oh, and by the way, the person that he attacked, he he is black and Hispanic and white. So don't bring up all this sort of nonsensical racism, because
They tried to defend himself.
yeah, I mean, so it's wrong that he defended himself. Uh-huh. I tell you what, he was the most Hispanic looking white guy I ever saw. And look, I've seen cops do bad, believe you me. I was in a drug raid. I was not selling the drugs. I wasn't dealing the drugs. I had nothing to do with the drugs. But my roommate's girlfriend was turned out to be a drug dealer. Cops busted the door down. Door happened to be unlocked, by the way. Yeah, all they had to do was turn the doorknob, but no, they had to, and they stole some stuff out of the house. Um, but
Bullshit.
yeah, so and then there was an incident on Gardena, not Gardenia, but Gardena. Don't ask me why they named the street that. Maybe it was named after a person. But I was walking down the street. I was don't remember where I was going, but I was going somewhere. And there are three cops there. There had been an accident at the intersection of Vance Jackson and Gardena, and there are three cops.
Oh boy.
Two acted like pieces of you know what.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, I remember I was walking down, and these two cops were yelling at people for no reason. They're just, I mean, they're really tearing into people. And this one cop is just going like that, just head down, shaking his head.
What
Hey,
a disgrace.
and then I'm coming back, and this is quite some time later. I mean, it's not like 5 or 10 minutes later. I mean, I'm talking about 30, 40 minutes later, and there's two of the cops are still there. The one cop that seemed decent enough, he wasn't there anymore.
The other two idiots were.
Yeah, they were still harassing people.
Oh God.
This guy comes up, he calls them the cop refers to them as barricades. He has the flares out. That's not a barricade. And this
Flare you twit.
this truck, okay, this is a barricade, or the flare right here, right? This truck, this pickup truck, comes like that into the parking lot. Does not go around the flare, goes like that
Over it.
into the, no, didn't even
Oh, beside
before it, yeah. And there's one cop, he goes, the male cop, he goes up to the guy driving the car, and oh gosh,
gets his ass up in the air.
oh yeah, and he did, he, and I'm walking back, and I have issues with my legs, with my walking, and I have to walk on the street. There's no sidewalk right there. I had to walk on the street. Actually, there was a step, maybe 2 or 3 feet, that I had to step down.
Oh God.
And the cop is like, well, I'm not gonna use the language, but he started cussing at me. You know, what are you doing crossing my barricade? And
Shut the
yeah, I'm like,
fuck up.
I actually turned around to him and said, well, what do you think I'm supposed to do?
Why?
Yeah, because I could have fallen and hurt myself pretty bad. At the same time, when I lived in those particular apartments, I had a break-in. I called the police, and they were nothing but helpful to me. They dusted for fingerprints. They actually, I got that powder all over my hands.
Someone will chew your ass out like you did it.
Yeah, but I mean, those particular guys were helpful. They were nice, but you know, so an ex-girlfriend of mine, her daughter is married to a cop,
No pity.
and oh, believe you me, he's not somebody you want to.
An asshole.
Yeah, you don't want anything to do with that guy. As a matter of fact, her nephew and his friend were shot in the back by an off-duty 20-year veteran detective for the San Antonio Police Department. What do you think happened to the guy? Nothing. He got tried. I mean, there was a trial. Believe it or not, he actually got charged, and there was actually a trial. But what do you think happened? Got off scot-free. This guy,
Wrong.
this guy laid in wait, which is illegal. At least in Texas, it's illegal. And shot these two kids in the back. I don't care. Yes, those two kids happen to be punk gang-banging idiots. But he shot him in the back. He and his son, as a matter of fact, shot them in the back. Cowards. That's what I would expect out of the King Brown shirts, is to shoot somebody in the back. But anyway, and don't say I just threatened you, because I'm saying that's what you would do, not what I would do, you idiots. But you know, sometimes you take up the wrong causes. You know, I mean, I've seen cops do good, I've seen cops do bad. I'll say this: cops that do good, that are actually somewhat decent, depending on the department, they don't go very far. I mean, they may make it, you know, a sergeant. They may make a few ranks up, but they're not going to become officers, or, and when I say officers, like lieutenants, captains. On the other hand, our police department isn't anything like that. Our police department is actually decent. They're good.
3 of them.
Yeah, they're good, hardworking people. I respect them. Actually, that's probably why the King Brown shirts don't come into our town, is because we have decent cops that won't put up with BS. But you know, you gotta be careful about the individual situations you choose to champion, because you know that, I'm sorry, but that situation in Ferguson, Missouri, excuse me, um, that was one person defending himself against the assault of another person, and sadly somebody died in the process. From what I understand, it was a suicide by cop. Well, you can't blame the cop for the guy attacking him. The guy attacked him. And the cop defended himself, and sadly somebody died in the process. I'm sorry that that kid died, but he should not have attacked the cop. What if it was you? If it was you and he attacked you? What would you do?
Well, these kids think they can do no wrong.
So, I am this close to unliking Cop Block. And I don't want to do that because 90% of what you guys do, 90% of what you guys post is great stuff. It's necessary stuff. It's stuff people need to see, things people need to hear. But, sometimes you step over the line, man. Way over the freaking line. And I just don't know what to do. And when you have pedophiles and bullies and idiots, I mean, Garrett's an idiot. I concur.
Dumbass.
You really need to do some evaluation of your members and your priorities and things like that.